Our class trip to Maplewood Camp was supposed to be the highlight of the year. 2 nights deep in the forest, no phones, no distractions, just bonfires and nature. It was sold to us as an adventure, a chance to bond. Looking back, it was a nightmare we never woke up from. The first night was perfect, just like the brochure promised. We roasted marshmallows, told lame jokes, and stared up at a sky full of stars you just don't see in the city. Everything was fine until Sarah spoke up. She was quiet, pointing a trembling finger towards the dense wall of trees surrounding our clearing. "Did you see that?" she whispered, her voice barely audible over the crackling fire. "There's someone back there, man." We all turned to look. Nothing, just shadows dancing in the firelight. A few kids giggled nervously. "It's just the trees, Sarah," someone said. Our teacher, Mr. Harris, did a quick check with his flashlight, its beam cutting through the darkness. "All clear," he announced with a reassuring smile. "Your eyes are playing tricks on you in the dark." We all laughed it off, chalking it up to campfire jitters. Sarah insisted she saw a tall man in dark clothes, someone with no face, just a silhouette against the blackness. But soon, even she was laughing along with us. Later that night, tucked into our sleeping bags in the rustic cabin, the laughter died. Around 3 a.m., a sound pulled me from a deep sleep. Slow, deliberate knocking. Thump, thump, thump. It wasn't coming from the door, but from the wooden wall right beside my bunk. It was coming from outside. My heart hammered against my ribs. Across the room, I could see other kids sitting up, their eyes wide in the moonlight filtering through the window. Mr. Harris, sleeping in the corner, grumbled loudly. "Hey, knock it off. Go back to sleep," we yelled, assuming it was one of us messing around. The knocking stopped instantly. The silence that followed felt heavier, more menacing than the sound it replaced. Eventually, one by one, we drifted back into a restless sleep. The morning sun streamed into the cabin, but it brought no warmth, only a chilling discovery. Sarah's sleeping bag was empty, not just unzipped, but flat, like she had never been in it. Panic set in slowly, then all at once. The teachers organized a search. She probably just went for an early walk, they said, but their faces were tight with worry. We scoured the woods around the camp, calling her name until our voices were hoarse. Back at the cabin, a more disturbing detail emerged. Sarah's hiking shoes were still tucked neatly under her bunk. Who goes for a walk in the forest without their shoes? Then Mr. Harris checked the back door of the cabin, the one leading directly into the woods. He swore he'd locked it from the inside before we all went to bed. Now, the bolt was slid open. It was unlocked. The search continued for hours. Counselors and teachers fanned out, their initial calm evaporating into frantic energy. Around noon, they found something. Hanging from a low branch on a tree near the lake, far from the trails, was Sarah's backpack. It was perfectly clean, bone dry, and zipped up tight, as if someone had placed it there gently, a deliberate marker. But there was no sign of Sarah. Not a footprint, not a broken twig, nothing. The trip was over. We were packed onto the bus that afternoon. The ride home was silent. No one looked at each other. The teachers kept saying it was a terrible accident, that Sarah must have wandered off and gotten lost. But we knew. We knew about the man in the trees, the knocking on the wall, the unlocked door. We knew this was no accident. A week passed. The school held an assembly. They tried to give us closure to help us move on. The principal projected the group photo we'd taken on the first day at camp onto a large screen. There we all were, a sea of smiling faces squinting into the bright afternoon sun. Happy, oblivious. He was talking about, remembering the good times, but my eyes drifted to the background of the photo. Behind the last row of students, nestled between 2 thick pine trees, was a shape. A faint, blurry figure almost lost in the shadows. It was tall, dressed in dark clothes, and where a face should have been, there was only a void. I hope you enjoyed this story. If you want to hear more tales that will keep you up at night, make sure to like this video. And don't forget to follow and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching.